Good morning, brothers and sisters at Grace Bible Chapel. Again, this morning we're going to take a look at Colossians chapter 1, and we're looking at Paul's prayer, his prayer for the church of Colossae. We heard this wonderful report of them, and he's encouraged by it, and he writes them and he tells them at the beginning of his letter that he's praying for them. This is going to be the last video that I do for this week. I'm taking Friday and Monday of next week off. I'm going to keep taking Mondays off as we ramp things up at the chapel. We're going to do 3 or 4 of these daily devotionals a week. So we're going to continue on next week with this same topic, with this same passage. But this morning we're going to take a look at, we've already looked at Paul's persistence in his prayer, that since he heard this good report, he continued to pray for them. He was consistent in his prayer for them, and he was persistent in his prayer for them. And then we looked at how his prayer had a priority, that there was something that was vitally important, that he was praying for them, that they be filled with the wisdom, or filled with the knowledge of his will, with all wisdom and spiritual understanding. And that was Paul's priority. He wasn't praying for their health. He wasn't praying for their wealth or their situation or any of those things. What he thought was most important, was the top priority, was that they be filled with the knowledge of his will, with all spiritual wisdom and understanding. Now, this morning, I want to look at Paul's purpose in his prayer. You see, there's a purpose for what he prayed for the Colossians. So let's take a look at Colossians chapter 1 and start in at verse 9 again, and we're going to read verse 9 and 10 in its. And so, from the day we heard, we have not ceased to pray for you, asking that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all spiritual wisdom and understanding, so as to walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing to him, bearing fruit in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God. And so this is the purpose. Why is it important that we be filled with the knowledge of his will? Why is it important that we be that with all spiritual wisdom and understanding? It's so that we might walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, all pleasing to him. That is the purpose. Some may say that that's the purpose of the Christian life, is to glorify God with everything that we do. And that's really what this means. That term walk, we kind of know it today as in a colloquial way, that it speaks of your life, of how you live your life. Your walk is how you live and how you conduct yourself. Well, that had even more meaning back in Paul's day, when that was the main form of transportation. How you got from A to B was by walking. The majority of the population couldn't afford a horse or a cart or anything like that, and so when they traveled or even went about their daily business, they went to the market, you went to see your neighbors or visit family, you walked everywhere you went, and the people in your life and how you conducted yourself, that was all within walking distance. And so to speak of someone's walk, well, that's your life. That's how you live. That's your character. That's everything that you do. And so Paul's saying here that the reason that to know God more, to know his will, to have that full understanding of it, is so that we can walk in a manner worthy of the Lord. And I want us to think about that for a second. Brothers and sisters, did you know that you can walk in a manner worthy of God? I think when we're honest with ourselves, we look at ourselves, and most of the time we see our failures. We see the times that we slip up and the times that we would disappoint the Lord with our actions and the things that we do. We'd probably be surprised to think of this, that this is something that we can do, that we can walk in a manner worthy of the Lord. And not only that we can walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, and it can be pleasing to him. That we can please the God of the universe, the one who made all things, the one who created everything, the one who is holy and perfect, that we can please him. And we can please him with our life, with our walk. That's a pretty amazing thing. But what do we need in order to do that? Well, we need to know him more. We need to understand, really, his love for us, don't we? We need to understand His purpose for our life. We need to understand what He desires for us. And the more we understand that, the more we have that knowledge and are filled with that knowledge, the more we have spiritual wisdom, the more we have spiritual understanding. Well, that then enables us to walk worthy of the Lord. Now, I don't think Paul is praying something that's impossible. I don't think he's asking something that is unattainable. And so this is his prayer for the Colossians. And this is his prayer for you, and his prayer for me, and his prayer for every believer, every brother and sister in Christ, that we may walk in a manner worthy of the Lord, and that we can do that. But we need God's strength to do it. We need prayer, don't we? We need somebody to be praying for us to be able to do it. And I think that's why Paul was so persistent in prayer, because this is the goal, this is the purpose. But it's a high calling. It's not an easy thing. And we need prayer. We need persistent prayer. We need to pray for one another. We need to pray for ourselves in order to be able to do this, because we need God's help to do it. I just hope and pray this has been an encouragement to you this morning. God bless, and have a good day.